Hi everybody. So reviews of Elden Ring Nightreign are already in. Keep in mind the gameplay that you see here is not from Nightreign, it's from Elden Ring. Now first of all I want to mention that Elden Ring, not Elden Ring Nightreign because I haven't played yet, Elden Ring is my favorite game of all time. This is in my opinion one of, if not the best RPG game ever made. Now the thing that I'm looking at the reviews and things worry me, it actually worries me before I actually read them. I'm asking myself a simple question. It all boils down for me with this type of games to how much entertainment I get from replaying the game over and over. What incentive I have as a player to do it again and again. Now if I ask myself what I actually get that I maintain through runs, again let's leave the fun aside, let's give the game is fun. If it's not fun it doesn't matter anything, right? But you know, it's about the relics and the remembrances. That's what I read in all the reviews. So remembrances have some different things you can do, even fight certain enemies. So it seems nice. But again, it's something that you're going to finish and that's about it. Although in the future, of course, we can expect them in a DLC to add more remembrances, more heroes, and more relics. So expand over what we have right now. But let's just focus on just what we have right now at launch. So for me, if I narrow down most of the things here, and I really like something that maintains through the runs, because this is, you know, part of the fun, that you get something that you can maintain. Otherwise, again, everything is lost after you finish the run, because most of the upgrade and everything, this is a roguelite, right? You don't get to maintain lots of things. Oh, and there are cosmetics as well, by the way, with the currency that you can buy. But to be honest, there are a few of them, like 6 for each characters from what I've read on Fextra, what I've seen on Fextra Life review. And they're not really something that I'm really interested about. Usually if I get something, I want like a big achievement, so it actually signifies a huge achievement, rather than something that you're gonna get by just buying it with currency. But maybe I missed something. So it will boil down eventually to the relics. The relics, I mean, you get different relics. That's something that you can actually like compose a build that can persist between runs, or something that you're going to be a base for a build that you want to play based on the drops. But of course, drops are based on RNG, so you're not even guaranteed to get what you want for a certain something that actually is a base for what you want actually to have as a build. Maybe of course not in all situations, but again, there are lots of things involved here with RNG. Even RNG, what players are you gonna be matchmaking with, and how that experience will go if you're not planning to play with a friend or so, or two friends. What I'm trying to say here is that the depth of the build, creation build, the things that you actually get to maintain, the permanent ones, and also the cosmetic, are not enough, in my opinion, to give you kind of a great incentive to repeat the same. Again, the map is procedurally generated and some things are changing, fine. But I don't think this is enough to keep you interested in playing like, all right, 20, 30, 40 times. How many times are you going to do this until you start getting bored with it? They injected a few enemies, of course, that they're going to find, you know, might not appear in a certain run, and a certain run they will. The main bosses, there will be quite a few of them, but again, there's going to be the same main bosses. I think some of the things they will do in future DLCs is maybe bringing some bosses and from, you know, popular ones from Dark Souls or Bloodborne that people will kind of get crazy over it, fighting them again in this game. But I just don't feel that as of right now, I have a feeling that I'm going to get bored with it pretty fast, although I really love Elden Ring combat. And also, again, there made changes here. It's faster, and of course different classes, but there's also lots of reuse assets here. So in some way, when you jump into the game, you want something that feels like totally fresh. If it was like a new game with other assets of that particular game, it's not the Elden Ring, and it's from Software, I think people will be even more excited. But just seeing the same thing that you've seen before, I actually think that it's not a great idea. I actually think that it would be better if it was like a separate game, not even built on top of Elden Ring, but just separate game with its own lore, its own characters, everything different, maybe even different visuals, something different. Now, of course, there's going to be something that is going to be much cheaper to produce. So again, maybe they're just testing things around. I don't know. Some people say yes, but again, I'm not going to leave his speculation about that. The bottom line is that I see that there might be a problem. This is a game that how many rounds you can actually play before you get, like, you know, most of the things here. And even if you get most of the things here, I mean, do you really want to get most of the things here? I mean, it is what actually matters, or if you have like something, if there was like a very in-depth build system for the permanent things, they can balance it out. I'm not saying like you're going to create the entire build, right? Because in roguelite games, you build things as you go. But a more interesting backbone that will make it more fun to have something that create a base of a build outside of the run. And then you're going to get lots of different drops and more things you can unlock, other than just the 3 slots for the relics, which also are limited. It doesn't matter how many relics you get, it's still going to be just those 3 slots. So I honestly think that something feels flawed in this game. And there's so many things that could have made something from From Software game much more interesting. It feels that it might not be the case here. Now, most of the reviews are quite positive, by the way. Most of them. There's one that actually, the thing that I worried the most, I actually see it here. I'm just going to read this from Critical Hits. The very core idea behind the conception of Elden Ring Nightreign is flawed, same as I feel. Loop-based game like roguelikes completely break the magic of From Software formula. It feels like a bundle of modes that quickly loses its charm due to repetitiveness. And this is repetitiveness. This is something. Repetitiveness can be a positive thing, right? I can play Battlefield again and again and again and again, the same map, and enjoy it. But there's something that can be negative. But here it's portrayed as a negative thing. It's kind of boring when you play it again and again. And I'm going to continue. And that is if you are playing with somebody who knows what they are doing. If not, the experience anyway. Well, it's bad, basically. And I agree. The thing is that I do plan to play it with randoms, and even if you take that into account, the amount of frustration and time that you're going to waste, and it happens to me in mobile games a lot, like in predecessor lately. Like I want to progress, but you're matchmaking with people who just ruin the experience for you in so many different ways. Usually it's something that, something done in purpose. It happens a lot in co-op, especially competitive games, or some people just showing the frustration. There's so many ways they do it, but basically just ruin your experience, just projecting the negativity towards the other players who are actually in the game, because just they are frustrated for one reason or another. And I'm pretty sure this is the case that will be sometimes. I don't know how often it will be. And what happens if somebody leaves? And now if I want to leave because somebody left, and now the game is kind of balanced out for difficulty for 3 players, well, I'm going to get punished for that? Anyway, this is just another thing that kind of causes, but this is not the main thing right now that I was focusing on. The more I care, if the game is fun, I don't mind even some issues here and there, because most of the fun I actually get from actually playing and getting rewarded for the actual gameplay. I just don't think that the game will be rewarding enough. Now, I do hope I'm wrong, because I will buy the game. I haven't bought it just yet, and I will play it. The main reason for that, because I tried the playtest and I actually enjoy my time there, but I haven't played enough to really understand if I'm going to enjoy it in the long run, but just doing more runs, I don't know, 20, 30 runs, until it's a certain point which I'm going to tell myself, oh, come on, it's boring. I don't want to do another run. What am I going to get out of that? Even if it's fun, all right? Even if it's fun, still you get to the point where things get repetitive and you start losing it. The question is how rapid this degradation is. So something I want to share, and based on certain reviews, it seemed like there is something that can actually affect it, but probably not enough, because it seems like based on all the reviews, they're quite positive. They're not quite positive, they're positive. Like definitely above, most of them are above 7. And yeah, for me, it seems like a game that I'm going to get bored pretty fast. I do hope that I'm wrong. I'm going to give it a try. I'm not trying to bash something that I gave more chance playing, and I'm sure there are things that I haven't discovered in the playtest. They're going to be in the game as well, let alone of course other characters to play and other surprises, but we'll see. I want to hear your thoughts. This is something that worries me, and I have a feeling that many players will complain about it when the game is released, if not at the first week, maybe in 2 weeks and 3 weeks we start to see people complaining. Not sure. I have a hunch, but we need to wait and see. Let's discuss it there in the comment section. I want to hear your thoughts. Cheers.